Chris Durhan. Welcome to another episode of Drinks from Eddie Muller's Noir Bar. Each week I take a chapter from the book Eddie Muller's Noir Bar, Cocktails Inspired by the World of Film Noir, and I talk about the film in that chapter and I make the drink associated with it. Today we're going to be talking about the film Nightmare Alley and making the drink the Zeena. Now, I have a story about the first time I saw Nightmare Alley. I saw it at the TCM Classic Film Festival. Eddie Muller was introducing, and as he often does when he introduces films, he asked the audience how many people in the audience had seen it. Probably about a quarter of the people raised their hands or clapped or whatever. And then he asked how many people had not seen it, and I clapped or raised my hand or whatever. And probably another quarter of the audience did the same. I'm assuming that most of the people there hadn't seen it and didn't want to cop to it. But when he asked for the people who hadn't seen it, there were a few scattered boos around the theater, and Eddie Muller cut that off and he said something that I thought was really, really great. He said, "Never be upset with somebody when they haven't seen a movie you think they should have. Just be glad they're getting to see it for the first time." And I think that's a great philosophy. I try to apply it myself. I spend a lot of time tweeting about old movies on TCM, and if one of my TCM cronies on TCM Party admits that they're seeing something for the first time, I'm always, hey, good for you. And then I want to know what they thought about it, because it's a movie I love. I want to know what they thought about it after seeing it the first time. So anyway, Nightmare Alley. It stars Tyrone Power. And let's see, it also has Joan Blondell and Colleen Gray and Helen Walker. Um, it's one of the darkest films ever to come out of the Hollywood studio era. It's based on a novel by John Lindsay Gresham, which was so well received at the time. I guess I should mention the story a little bit. Basically, Tyrone Power is a carny turned fake psychic slash religious charlatan who bilks people out of their money. The novel on which it was based was so good at describing that it's almost a primer for people who want to fake psychics and charlatans who want to con people. In fact, the name of Tyrone Power's character, Stan Carlisle, is even used as a carny, used as a code word among con men in their own subculture. So, say if you had two guys who were con people, and they one of them was kind of playing the other one might say, "Hey, man, don't Stan Carlisle me." So anyway, the novel has been adapted 4 different times. I saw the first time was this 1947 movie with Tyrone Power. I saw that first, then I read the novel. It turns out it was adapted as a graphic novel by Spain Rodriguez in 2003. It was made into a musical of all things in 2010. I didn't know about that until about 3 days ago when I saw that on Wikipedia, but there you go. And then there is the 2021 Guillermo del Toro film adaptation. Now, I've seen 3 of them. I read the Spain Rodriguez graphic novel. I found out about it maybe about 2 months before the Guillermo del Toro version came out, and I was able to find it on eBay at a reasonable price. So I ordered it and read it maybe a month or so before I saw the Guillermo del Toro version. I like all 3 of them. They all bring something slightly different to the table, and that's kind of what I think it's cool about it. If I had to pick one of them, I would actually pick the 1947 version. And I think the main reason for that is that Tyrone Power brings some humanity to the character of Stan Carlisle. He is a despicable character. I mean, he has very little to redeem himself by, but yet I still feel for him. And so when his downfall comes, I feel bad about it. I didn't feel the same way with Bradley Cooper in the Guillermo del Toro version, but then again, that's probably truer to the novel than than the 1947 version. In addition, the 1947 version kind of weakened the ending, although didn't weaken it a whole lot. I mean, it's still a very, very bleak ending, and it's like they took one baby step backward from the abyss and ended the movie right there, when it should have ended even worse than it did, but it was still pretty bleak. Um, Now, I don't want to take anything away from the Guillermo del Toro version. It is a very, very good film. Bradley Cooper is very good in it. Cate Blanchett is excellent playing the Helen Walker role. Um, in the original, Helen Walker is probably one of the most evil femme fatales in all of film noir, and Cate Blanchett is right up there with that. Um, in the Guillermo del Toro version, it's just a gorgeous film, and the art direction is completely off the hook. So if you like the 1947 version and you're on the fence about seeing the Guillermo del Toro version, you really should see it, because it's definitely worth a watch. Um, we're going to move on to the drink, the Zeena, and I will be right back. Hi, I'm back. The drink, the Zeena, is a variation off the drink, the Joan Blondell. According to Eddie Muller, it substitutes in rye for basically the same drink with gin, and he says that the rye kind of evens it out, makes it less sweet. So we're going to give it a shot. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with 2 ounces of rye whiskey. We're going to start with some ice in our mixing glass is what we're going to do. Okay, now 2 ounces of rye whiskey. Okay, and we're going to do 2 ounces of sweet vermouth. He recommends Cochi di Torino, which is what I have here, and that's going to be 3/4 of an ounce. And there we go. And 3/4 of an ounce of Benedictine. By the way, if you're using sweet vermouth, you should note that it has a short shelf life, so you should refrigerate after opening. So this will be going in the fridge, and you will probably be seeing other sweet vermouth drinks coming up in the near future, so I can get my money's worth out of it. It says dashes of Angostura bitter, so I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I think that's probably good enough. And then we're going to stir. Okay, there we go. Now, this drink also calls for a absinthe rinse. So what I'm going to do is I've got my absinthe right here, if I can manage to get it open. There we go. And I'm going to pour just a little bit into this glass. And I'm going to swirl it to coat the inside of the glass, and then dump the excess. So all we're getting is just the stuff that sticks to the glass. And then we're going to strain our nicely chilled and stirred concoction into the glass. And it goes up pretty much all the way. And then for a garnish, we are using an orange peel. I did something a little bit different. I've got this orange peeler that does kind of a very thin thing, so I'm going to just kind of do this into a corkscrew shape and drop that in there. And here we go, the Zeena. Wow. I don't think I've ever tasted anything like that. It's very sweet. Um, you're kind of getting the rye on the back end. You're definitely drinking some booze here, but it's flavors you're not really used to. It's really pretty good. All right, great. So next week we're going to be looking at a film called Dr. Broadway, and I oh wait, the drink that went along with that was the Board and Chase. At least if I can find the film Dr. Broadway, I may have to watch it on YouTube or archive.org or something like that. It's seems to be a little bit hard to find. But we will be doing that one again, so I can use some more of the sweet vermouth. So, from the back of Eddie Muller's Noir Bar, we're going to say cheers. Hope you join me next time. Thanks for tuning in.